one of these. That one. Haha. I'm going to redo the Stream Deck at some point when I have 5 minutes to focus on that. Until then, you're going to keep catching me looking over at the thing, even though it's supposed to be so simple that I can just press buttons and learn where they are and everything. How is it going, chatters? You might be able to hear my voice is a little raspy. We'll see how long I make it, but I don't know that I make it 3 hours here. Look at that. All right. That's actually a really good selection of people, too. Like, it did a good job of randomly choosing people. It is actually showing the subs correctly, too. That is honestly a miracle.
Wow.
You know what? Especially since the screen over here, where I've got stream elements, isn't updating with them. Cool. Thank you, anonymous gifter. Yeah, no, the fact that it's showing them is a miracle at all after how it's been acting, but we definitely need to fix the text now that we have it working. So piece one is done. That part now actually works correctly. Now it just needs to, say the right thing. Maybe we can solve that one later.
Yeah, but it's no longer saying they gave a sub to true.
Yes. Yeah, they somehow fixed that. I'm not sure.
I don't know why.
I'm not sure what. I didn't edit it. So quite possibly the only other person with access to it in chat here, Talking Vipos, he might have edited it, but it also could have fixed itself because programming, we know how that works. So are you guys in for a fun little health update? As we know, like a week and a half ago or so, I was back to the last round of tests as they're figuring things out, and they said they found mucus and liquid in my lungs, and that, of course, sucks. But then they asked if I was, sneezing up stuff or if it was all coming out of my mouth from my throat, disgusting shit. And I couldn't answer because after the nose surgery and everything else, like, stuff does go the wrong direction. So I just couldn't tell which was which, but I watched for the last week or so. And I finally figured out that actually most of it is coming up out of my throat. So that sucks. So I reach out to the doctor and she calls me back. She's wonderful, but she says we now have a problem. We can't really know if this is a big problem or a little problem or seasonal. And I, of course, ask, what are you talking about? And she says, well, all these new problems you have, from your asthma to your lung damage to all your throat damage to your nose damage to the surgery, all of it, all came before this season change, where all the temperature changes, where everyone goes into, quote unquote, allergy season. So we have literally no idea if what's going on with you is part of that. Plus, over the last 2 weeks, you've spent most of your time in a dusty warehouse at the food pantry, doing your volunteer hours there. Well, I mean, some were the community service hours. Now they're volunteer hours because I'm still going because I love the place and the people there and all that. But so now I'm in a dusty warehouse too. And you add that all up and they really have no idea whether it's the environment now, including that warehouse, including allergy season, or whether it's actually something wrong. And so she says, we've got to wait like a month before they're really going to be able to tell what it is. So I'm sitting here with a sore throat and all kinds of issues, coughing all day long, and they can't do anything about it. So that's my current state. If I locked myself in the house, closed all the doors, got a HEPA filter, stopped going to the warehouse, and did 20 other things, it might slow down. I'm not doing that. So that's just kind of where the health is right now. Is what it is, We will figure it out, hopefully. It isn't debilitating, it's just annoying, Which, unlike, a year and a half ago, which was debilitating, this is still a step in the right direction.
Right.
I am actually able to go do all that warehouse work for the food pantry, and I'm enjoying it. Whew. Okay, we have had quite the last couple weeks, huh?
True.
Yeah, so obviously we'll talk about some of the campus stuff, but I'm not going to pull up like 500 videos because we're all watching.
Right.
I highly doubt there's many people in my chat who don't know the basics of what's going on. Yeah, there's just a ton going on. I'm going to switch over to the camera box here. Hey, I kind of have that lined up right too. Let's make it where as much as visible as needs to be there. All right. So let's just start where we start, way over on this side, which just seems to be how I line stuff up. Obviously, we're going to start lighthearted and kind of work our way up to the what the fuck, right? There's all kinds of little things I want to talk about. Obviously, this one is the most important because, I was at the Celtics game when they won last night and closed out the series and are going on to the next round. Not the most important thing. I just really liked the view, and everyone was like, what do you mean you liked the view? And I'm like, we're in the very back row, the highest row you can be in the entire stadium, and we're against the wall, so there's no one behind us, but we can see everything. You can see all of the screens. You can see all the stuff on both ends when they're showing like the timings, the clocks. You can see everyone on the floor just fine and what's going on. So like, I don't mind these seats. A friend was awesome enough to just kind of call me up and say, we're going to the game. And I said, of course, I can't afford to go to this game. And he said, I already got the tickets, damn it. So, off we go to the game. So I got to go to the closeout playoff game there, and that was fun. If the next game goes to 5, then we might go to that one too in the next round. And so I had a lot of fun last night. That was awesome. Over here. Yep. All right. It is also dinner time. We ordered food forever ago, and it took forever to get here. So you guys get to watch me eat because that's just how the night's going to work out. I will be clearing my throat a lot too, and I'm sorry about that. I'll try and catch some of them with the filter over here, but is what it is. I just thought this was funny. I just really thought this was funny. Someone has made a mod for Minecraft that just randomly inserts Goodwill stores all over your world, and you will just randomly run into Goodwills on the map. And so they just look like shopping centers. You go in and they've got random stuff in them, random loot basically. You walk in and you can take the stuff that you want, and you can put stuff down if you want to leave stuff like donations. But there's just Goodwills all over your server now. I just think that's freaking hilarious. I love it. I kind of want to do this to one of the servers I'm on, just because I think it's funny. And for anyone who does actually want to play on a server, we have one, and I would totally add you, and you can come join in all the fun. This I really love because, as everyone should, I really dislike the Paul brothers, Jake Paul especially. And he is going to be fighting Mike Tyson. It's still on. I mean, right now it's still on. But the latest training videos for Mike Tyson, because he is doing a total log of all of his training, and he is putting these videos out showing what he's doing, has everyone in Jake Paul's circle just literally telling him to cancel the fight. You lose nothing if you cancel the fight. Please don't get in the ring with Mike Tyson, because he's looking and punching and just acting like old school Mike Tyson, even though he's it says right here, 58 years old. The videos are just holy crap of him just beating on his sparring partners. And he's they're trying to hold up the pads, the sparring pads and everything, and he's punching right through them no matter how good they try. And so people are just saying, Jake, you can still say no. It's okay. If even one of those punches lands, Paul will be in the ICU. Now, I don't like wishing pain and the ICU on many people, but Paul's one of them. I want him to get hit by Mike Tyson. I want him to learn that lesson. I think it's a valuable lesson for someone like him to learn. I don't know if Chad agrees with me, but I'm sure hoping they do because, I think not agreeing with that is a ban, right?
Look, anyone who's dumb enough to be like, yeah, no, I want to sign up for that mismatched fight is probably a lesson that they should learn. They probably have earned that lesson.
Cardio was never a problem, F-Spy, because he rarely had to make it past the second round. He rarely had to make it out of the first round. I honestly think if he lands a 1-2, just boom, boom, on Paul, he goes down in the first. Like, I mean, I'm old enough, and I was actually working at Ringside Boxing, like, during Tyson's big run. And, I got to meet a lot of people. I met Holyfield before the ear bite, so that was fun. But, so I was deep in boxing culture when all it was happening. And, I think the average was, 45 seconds in the ring with him. So, I don't know that cardio comes too hard into play there, man. I mean, maybe Jake Paul can outrun him in the ring because of, old age and all that, and then, make him make it to third and fourth round and run him out. But, I do think Tyson lands 1 or 2 on him and he's done. And that'll be I'm watching. I don't care how I have to watch it. Paul's not getting any money out of me, but I will be watching it somehow. Because there will be a way, I'm sure. And then we have good old Sick Codes, our good friend Sick Codes, who everyone remembers from all the John Deere hacking over the last couple of years. He found that Dongfeng over in China have done a clone of the Cybertruck. And I got to tell you, I like this one better than the real Cybertruck.
I mean, low bar, but yeah.
Look at this thing.
I guess it at least looks modern.
Look at the thing on the top is actually one of those storage things for more tent space. The back actually has the tent built in that, the Cybertruck is sending that really shitty cheap one. And it's got look at the size of the doors here too. It looks like it's got the double opening doors.
Yep.
I mean, this just looks like a better vehicle. And it's the knockoff.
Still, I feel like Elon managed to unwittingly troll a Chinese company into building something dumb.
That is funny. So the idea here is that since they steal all the IP anyways and rebuild it, just start sending them junk to build.
Yeah, convince them that this is going to be the new hot thing, and they'll make 10 million of some idiotic thing. Make something that deliberately doesn't work, and then see if they actually bother to try and make it work, or if they just sell it as is.
I can say the glass doesn't look like the Cybertruck glass. I'm pretty sure a rock goes right through that.
Well, I mean,
the rock doesn't go right through the side. Okay. It just cracks the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So we all remember good old MKBHD and his wonderful Fisker Ocean video. And then that leads into his Humane AI video and now the Rabbit video, where he's just, tearing these companies, new ones, right? This is how bad it is for Fisker now. Fisker Ocean totaled over $910 door ding after insurer admits it can't find parts. Literally, they totaled this EV, which I think is actually beyond all the flaws that we know because of, his reporting. It's a good looking vehicle.
Yeah, it looks okay.
I mean, so was the Karma, right?
Right.
I mean, that's a whole other pile of mess. But literally, your 30,000, well, I mean, now they're selling them for 24 or something, because of everything, trying to stay out of bankruptcy and all that. But your $30,000 EV, because the door is damaged, is totaled.
Yeah, I mean, I had a car that was declared totaled over damage to a quarter panel, but it was a 12-year-old Hyundai, not a new EV that costs $30,000.
The only positive out of this mess is that if enough of these get little dings and get totaled because the parts don't exist, then parts will exist.
True.
because all of these will be torn down. Yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind.
Although I don't know if insurers often don't want to I don't think want to cover like used parts.
No.
So it still won't work, but you'll be able to like repair your own vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, you'll end up with a salvage title.
Depends on how much damage there was.
Sure, but like the insurance will total it. You'll still be able to repair it, but once insurance totals it, your title gets set to salvage if you recover, and then you've got to fix that title, right?
Well, yeah, if it's an accident that's serious enough that like you can't avoid it going to and it being reported to insurance, you can. You're like, oh, this door is dinged badly enough that it needs to be replaced, but it was someone hit it with like a shopping cart.
Yeah.
I'll just go get a replacement from the junk lot and do it myself.
I mean, I just find this shit funny. Like,
yeah.
And the amount of power that people are ascribing to MKBHD, to Marquez Brownlee there, like, he doesn't actually have the amount of power that they're saying he does. He has a lot. He definitely is swaying a ton of opinions. I know a bunch of people who wanted a Rabbit R1 that now aren't ordering because of his review. So, like, it's not like it's nothing, but he didn't kill Fisker. They were already heading towards freaking bankruptcy. They had made way too many mistakes and cut way too many corners on this vehicle. It was going to happen either way, I think. But then we do end up with this. You might notice the title of this video, Rabbit R1 Barely Reviewable.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, he's leaning into the clickbaitiness of he can now destroy your company.
Right.
And that's, I mean, he didn't need it for views, but like it's definitely helping with the views. So I still like the idea of this device and want good OTA updates to give this thing the features that were promised. One now, because I think a lot will be on the market used for under value, and maybe I'll be able to get one at some point. I like the idea of a little dedicated AI device where I'm not picking up my phone and getting distracted and all that. The problem I'm having right now with the discourse online, especially on Twitter and everywhere, is people are complaining that it's just an app. I mean, it's just an Android box. It's just a phone with a different, shape. And like that annoys the shit out of me, because if you have an electronic device at this point and it's not running iOS, then it's either running Android or Linux. But hot tip, Android is Linux with just a patch set on top of it, basically. I mean, AOSP is a lot more than a patch set, sure. But like Android is Linux. So like this type of hardware, 9 times out of 10 is going to be running Android. That's just how it works. That's the world we live in today. And honestly, you don't want people like a brand new startup writing their own operating system from scratch. That's not where they should be spending their time. They should be spending their time on the functionality. Also, you don't want them attempting to write a secure operating system. In any way, with the amount of details this thing might know about you, you want to be using something that at least has other security professionals looking at it. AOSP happens to have that. So I'm just mad about that part of the discourse. Yes, it's an app running on Android, so maybe it could be on your phone. The other part of it is the company's response, them saying, well, it couldn't because we did so much customization to the Android install to make it work with permissions and access to the hardware that an app running on a normal phone doesn't get that access, right? But of course, people have gotten the APK and gotten it running on, a stock Pixel 6. So like a 6A, I think. So like, no, it will run on stock stuff. And then they've just blocked the ability to do that from the web backend and the API backend for the Rabbit stuff. So it could just be an app, actually. But I want it to be this device personally. That's me. I know other people are like, it could have just been an app, and they want it as an app now. But like, no. I like this idea. I hate the discourse that everyone's mad because it's Android. Yeah, if you're going to get a device this small, it's going to be Android, right?
Yeah. Like, why would it not?
Yeah, like, how is that an argument?
If they can come up with a compelling reason as to like what the alternative there should be, I'll hear them out, but like,
Right.
I don't see where that argument would be.
The valid argument is the same one that Marquez says, same one that a bunch of people on Twitter, like Hacker Fantastic and Swifty and a few of the others, they all said, the problem isn't that it's Android, you idiots. It's that they promised 20 things and they delivered 1.5 things. When you look at the list of stuff it's supposed to do. And I agree with that. I mean, it definitely does some crazy things. Snazzy Labs, in their review of it, he orders food from DoorDash because it has 4 apps that it supports. There's like DoorDash, Uber, Spotify. I don't know what the 4th one is. I don't remember. But he ordered food from DoorDash on it, just telling it I want food and what he wanted from what restaurant, right? But it delivered the food to one of the addresses on file. And he has 2. He has work and home. Well, it sent it home when he was at work. And it didn't give him the option to choose, so he just was wondering where it might end up going. And then when it got there, sure, it was the thing off the menu he had ordered, but there's lots of options for that thing, and so it just kind of made its own choices on the options, kind of whatever the first option was. So it wasn't actually the food he wanted either.
Right.
So there's still a lot to do here. Because the LAM, the large action model, sort of come back and said, which one of your addresses should this go to? You know, the integration needs to be a lot stronger. As I said, it's dinner time. Now, I will say, in his video, Marquez here mentions that, Teenage Engineering made this, and they're just kind of the new hotness right now. And a few other people have kind of complained about the design, but I got to tell you, nothing Teenage Engineering has ever designed is bad in my eyes. Every design they've ever made is the pinnacle of design for that space, and no one's going to do better. Personally, it could be their use of orange and it being my favorite color. Even when like the whole device is gray, they at least fit an orange button on there. But I love Teenage Engineering's designs, so I think the Rabbit's beautiful. I just wish it actually did all the things they promised it would do. We'll have to wait for updates on that. But I also don't think they're doing themselves any favors with the CEO sitting there arguing with everyone on Twitter. They should just be delivering updates.
Yeah.
They did do one. The very next day, an update for battery life for idle time came out, and it doubled the battery life of the damn thing, which is, sure, you need a bunch of testers to find some bugs, but that's not the kind of bug you need a bunch of testers for. No. That, I mean, come on. Oh, especially if you can fix it by the next day. So, CISA, good old Cyber Security Infrastructure Security Agency of the U.S., says that GitLab password reset vulnerability is being exploited in the wild. And it's being exploited in the wild enough that they have to put out this advisory. And I got to tell you, this is so fucking stupid. Because the patch for this came out in January, and it wasn't one of those, it's hidden in the patch and we don't want to tell the world what the patch really does. The whole thing about the patch was literally, we made a mistake. It's been live for 10 months, and we're sorry, and it's patched now. And they explain the actual flaw. And they say, so please, for the love of God, update. So if your GitLab is still getting exploited, that's on you. I mean, and if you're running GitLab and you haven't done literally the January updates, go do them. And what's wrong with you? I can't be upset for anyone whose GitLab has been, taken over. It's months later of a highest level severity. Look at this. Look at the CSSS score. Right here, everyone.
Yeah.
Very few CVEs get a 10.0. 10.0 update. And if you're the kind of person who's running GitLab, and you're actually the one running it, you should be the kind of person that knows what a CVE score of 10 really means. And you should have seen it. And you should, in every way, this is it's utter idiocy to me that there's still enough out there that are getting exploited that the CISA felt the need to put out this advisory. If it was one or two that were still going, like, okay. But, like, no, there's enough getting exploited that, like, the U.S. government felt it had to tell everyone what the fuck's wrong with you. That's crazy to me. Absolutely insane.
That's pretty nuts.
If you're running GitLab update, please. Okay. So Twitter is changing the block button. This is step one of many. So if you blocked someone before this change, then when you responded to one of their tweets, because like someone else had, retweeted it that you are friends with, or any other way it might have gotten onto your radar, you could go directly to it. They wouldn't see that you responded to their tweet because you had them blocked. So you could like get catty in the comments under a thing of a person that you had blocked. Mm-hmm. And so they're undoing that. Now, even if you block that person, but you go comment on their shit, it's going to show up for that person. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I just know that Musk has already said he wants to get rid of the block functionality altogether. And so I think this is just step one on a path that we really don't want to go down.
Yeah, probably.
That's my problem with this one.
I mean, I don't even know why he like cares, because like he bought the platform. He already demonstrated a perfect willingness to like have them just make special rules just for him. He could just make it so people couldn't block him.
Well, again, he has said very clearly, part of our ongoing commitment to aligning the block feature with our principles as a public town square, which he has said like 5 million times. Public town square. It is not, and he's done nothing but ruin the place worse than it already was.
Yeah, which is impressive.
If anyone wants free AI, or not, you could be mad about this, you could be happy about this, I don't know. But if you let your Chrome update, and then you type @ in the address bar, you're now talking to Google's Gemini. Literally, it's built into the address bar of Chrome now. So you now have AI, even if you don't want it. It's free. It's not their most advanced model, but it's their medium grade one. It's like GPT 3.5 level maybe. But hey, it's free. It's built in. I think the address bar is becoming a little bit too overused for things. Yeah. But I didn't really want this built into my browser. No, but like,
I really could do without that.
Like, I mean, again, Firefox is there. I don't know why anyone's running Chrome.
I mean, I use both Chromium and Firefox.
Mm-hmm.
And others. I use a lot. I use a multitude of browsers for different things at different times.
Okay. One of the REvil hackers, the ransomware group, has been fined $16 million and sentenced to 13 years in prison. He's 24 years old. His username was Rabotnik. And he's Ukrainian. And he was extradited, so he is in custody. So he is going to be serving that time. He doesn't say anything about good time, so I have no idea if he's, going to serve half of that or not. But, yeah, 13 years for being a ransomware douchebag, extorting everyone from your local small business to gigantic international corporations, who I don't care about. But the hospitals, those bother me.
Yeah.
Generally not a fan of currently life-supporting systems getting interrupted.
No.
You got to really mess around to make that a worthy target. I am looking at you, Children's Hospital of Boston. That attack was righteous. Whew. All right, this is a strange one because I don't understand sometimes why a company is doing the thing that I want them to do. Microsoft bans U.S. police departments from using enterprise AI tool. So the way the new terms of service says, and it's actually very important, it says being used by or for police departments. And that distinction is because if the police department didn't use it themselves, but they contracted a company who was using it, then it would get around the cops can't use it, right?
And law enforcement does a lot of that.
Yeah. So the by or for will get your account banned. Microsoft have said in their announcement of these changes that they will be suing companies that circumvent this. And so the Azure OpenAI service, the enterprise AI tool that everyone who is really signed up for enterprise level AI integrations is using, is no longer allowing cops to use it. It comes after Axon announced that they were building or they had built a tool on top of this service that would transcribe audio from body cameras, automatically turning it into a police report. And it is unclear if Microsoft's update policy is in response to this, but coming a week later, like I kind of assume it had something to do with it. Whether it sped it up and it was already in the process or not, who knows?
Yeah. That's interesting. I am not 100% clear on why Microsoft would do that.
Right? Like, it's not like they're the good guys.
No. Like, if they were good people, it would be one thing. It would make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, screw that seems like a terrible... Actually, although, like, that seems like a very weird thing for Axon to announce. Because if they're just, like, transcribing audio from body cameras and turning it into a police report automatically through a AI model, an AI model not controlled by the cops, then that's going to make it a lot harder for the police to lie in police reports. Like, the cops are not going to want that. They might not. They might be like, yeah, less paperwork, but them not controlling the narrative, that is an automatic no-go.
It is very strange from every possible direction you look at this. But I mean, I like it. I mean, the biggest push from Microsoft's side was that they didn't want all of the... You can use this AI service and some of its image and vision recognition stuff in facial recognition pipelines for like real-time facial recognition. And they didn't want it going down that route. So, again, weird that they would care.
Yeah, that is very strange that they would care.
Again, giant companies, so their would care should be aimed at the shareholders. This looks like they just turned off a lot of customers. Makes no sense to me. I'm happy about it. It just makes no sense.
Yeah. Anytime Microsoft appears to be doing the right thing, you have to be like, wait, what? What's going on here?
So the second Boeing whistleblower has died. A very fast-moving infection suddenly overtook his body and killed him. And he had a noted healthy lifestyle. Yeah. Boeing, turns out, are, I think, in my opinion, murderers.
I mean, this one, I'm like...
the timing, F-Spire, though. Come on.
Yeah, the timing is certainly incredibly suspect, but...
I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, as everyone around here knows. But, it just feels...
But,
off.
Noted for having a healthy lifestyle, a lot of the people that are very obsessed with, healthy living stuff aren't actually necessarily doing things that are as healthy as they like to think. So maybe he was, the sort that I don't want to speculate on the specifics of this guy because I know nothing about him, but there's a lot of possibilities there that maybe he wasn't as healthy as he might have superficially appeared. And then a MRSA infection, there's ways that can happen. And man, you can't really do much to treat them easily because of the whole, resistance thing.
And MRSA is very, very common in healthy people
Yes.
because of, like you said in chat there, sports mats and things like that. Absolutely.
Right. So and it would, the level of detail and planning to there would be needed to assassinate someone in a method like this. I mean, sure, Boeing does have the money and the resources that if anyone could pull it off as a non-state actor, it would probably be a company like Boeing.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'd expect that they have the competence to pull that.
So the idea here then is
specialty thing.
The idea here then is that the universe hates Boeing so much that this happened.
I mean, the first one, maybe, I'm not saying both of them were coincidence, but it's possible this one is just this one, it would be hard I don't know that I believe Boeing is competent enough to pull this one off.
They would have been 10 years ago.
Right. Back when Boeing was run by engineers, they probably could have, but no, they're run by businessmen now. I don't know. I believe they could do it.
Indeed. Oh, yeah. I don't feel bad for Boeing. They dug this grave.
Yeah. They 100% brought it upon themselves.
Yeah, suicide by deposition, definitely. So how about Nick Fuentes? So good old Nazi here says, bring Nick Fuentes back on Twitter. He's been banned since 2021. What happened to your promise, big guy? Aimed at Elon. To which Elon responds, very well, he will be reinstated. So the Nazi's coming back. Provided he does not violate the law, and let him be crushed by the comments and community notes. It is better to have anti-whatever out in the open to be rebutted than grow simmering in the darkness.
So Elon, you still banning people for using the word cis and for hurting your feelings? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Come on, come on, Elon. Just post Sieg Heil. We know you want to.
My last interaction with Nick Fuentes was just after January 6th, where I called him out for, going in. And he then screams at me on Twitter that he didn't go in and that I'm lying and that I'm defaming him. And then I just posted the pictures and video of him inside the building in response with no words. And then he yelled and screamed that wasn't him, it's just someone that looks like him. And then I linked to the live stream he did. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't understand what we're doing here, man. You did it.
You live streamed it. What are you talking about?
It seemed to be infuriating him that I was sharing his social media for him. I was giving him more reach.
Don't you want the attention, Nick? Isn't that your whole thing?
Ugh. Yeah, so we all get to go fuck with Nick Fuentes again, I guess. In fact, is he back yet? No, not yet. Someday. We have been told he is being brought back. And of course, all of these people. Mm-hmm. Absolutely crazy.
Yep, that's
yeah, I mean, look at this thread that he's responding to.
Yeah.
You work for Jews. And then a Nick Fuentes quote. Ugh.
Yeah.
So Nick Fuentes is coming back. These are fun. These are these little pamphlets, these little charts and graphs are from Disobedient Objects, which is an art exhibit, which you can see here some of the other pieces of the exhibit. Like this is a dual bike setup that has a full like DJ setup, so you can be blasting stuff, and it has a projector on it, a computer, these speakers and everything.
Oh, wow,
and just with two people biking, you can be riding this thing. And one of their how-to guides actually teaches how to make the bike block, the basics of it. And the disobedient objects stuff is just great. I love these people. But we were posting some of their better ones over here because, like, you've got the book block shield, which is a really good shield to use when the cops are coming for you, especially with their batons. And when I saw Puckarks send that one out, I was like, there's more of these. So here's how to make the lock-on devices. These things are great. These actually have a name. They're called sleeping dragons. And it's really simple. It's just a pipe. Usually it's PVC, one wide enough for your hand and fist to get in easily. And then you drill out a hole. You put a bolt through, and then you stick your hand in with a carabiner just around your wrist so you can lock on. And that way, once you pull it taut, like, you are in there. They can't pull you out. They're going to have to cut in. But if you ever needed to, like, pull out, you could totally reach over and unhook it if you felt like it. This is a preferred device to the next one, of course, using the U-lock around your neck up against, like, a fence or something. Mm-hmm. Still works. I've done this one. Get one big enough for your neck. Otherwise, it hurts, obviously. And then, of course, the old, tried and true 2-liter Coke bottle into a tear gas mask.
Yes.
Everyone knows this one. Very simple to build. But I just love that this is an actual art exhibit from the UK here. This is the Victoria and Albert Museum. And, of course, it's a closed one now. But you can come here and just look at all the other things they made, too. It's really great. And then, of course, RFK Jr.'s staff fears electromagnetic radiation from microwaves, which gets in the way of his potluck dinner.
That is very funny.
I don't know. Like, this is a man who's getting votes for president. There will be people who vote for this man.
I don't know if that's dumber or worse than the people who will vote for Donald Trump.
No, but
at least at least he's openly a clown that, like, has no chance of winning. Although I guess people thought about Trump in 2016, but I don't see RFK getting anywhere close to that, especially when there's still Trump for those people to vote for.
It's just insane to me.
If he had any self-respect, he would look at that event and be like, you know what? This was clearly a mistake. I'm sorry, everyone. I wasted your time. My bad.
Oh, yeah. There was a reason early on in microwaves, especially the early mass-produced ones that weren't, like the GE ones where they were handmade, lots of metal, blah, blah, blah. The first, like, run of, like, Sanyo, ones that came over definitely were missing some shielding and weren't built to high enough quality. And the amount of radiation leaking out, though, like, you'd have to stand right next to it and kind of lean your head on it for it to be a major problem.
How long are you planning to stand in front of an active microwave here?
And that was, like, I don't think it was, like, 30 years ago. I thought that was older than that, but, like, maybe. But yeah,
no, that would have been, like 35, 40-ish years.
Yeah, it's just like, these people are insane, which is why they support RFK Jr. I'll just say it. I don't know. I think someone will be mad at me, but I'm going to say it. I have been invited to a little island nation. Flight would be paid for, hotel would be paid for, to meet with a group of people that support RFK Jr. in their hoped attempts to convince me that it's the right move to support him and then to help them to build out some more infrastructure. And I have told them no, and that they're nuts. They are backed by a billionaire, and so I would get paid for it, and I have said outright no. I said if the billionaire wants to pay for a few other things, I got better ideas, but not this. And I I do like going down to like Caribbean islands and hanging out on the beach. It is kind of fun. I think there's a reason people seem to do that a lot when they can afford to. But
yeah, it is a lot of fun. I will not disagree with that. But doing it with a bunch of RFK supporters, that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, yes, they probably are taking stupid pills of some sort.
It's one of those things where, like, I think if I was in that environment and I just talked to them too long, I would start to feel like whatever it takes, these people can't leave the room. If I've got to die with them, it's over. Like, I would just be
for the
like,
good of Earth.
For the good of humanity, this can't happen. You know, like that. I just feel like that's where my head would go.
That honestly sounds like a fairly rational response to being stuck in a room with them for long enough.
Ugh. So, Palestine Action, one of their activists, or as they call them, actionistas, who keeps going to their various protests, which they've been very successful. They've gotten some plants literally shut down. Elbit plants and plants that work with them. They've gotten some buildings to ask Elbit to move out. They've done an amazing job. Elbit, again, makes a ton of machinery for Israel's war machine, including the drones, the UAV setups. This one was one of the UAV engines, makes the engines for a bunch of their drones. They sent a letter to one of the protesters' work, one of their jobs, saying, "We've noticed that your vehicle job with logo on side of door is being used by someone who keeps coming and protesting us at our Shenstone building. And we actually believe it's senior management in your organization. And is your company policy to support and endorse this? If so, we ask that you stop. Our next option is to take legal advice, to seek remedy. There's nothing they're going to be able to do against his job for keeping him employed." No. That's not a thing. This threat is useless. But they're literally now so bothered that this is what they're doing. And yeah, direct action works. And here is some more of it. And I freaking love it. I've done 2 ops with PAL action. One went off flawlessly, and we just won't talk about that. And the other one ended up with 3 people who have been nicknamed the Merrimack 3, having $45,000 in bail that day. Yeah, that one was wild. I still think the op did what we wanted it to do. It just also was way over prosecuted. They are still actually going through court for all of those charges related to that one. Whew. Then another absolutely confusing one involving police, similar to the Microsoft one that was confusing, right?
Yeah.
At UPenn, the University of Pennsylvania, the senior staff asked the police to step in and clear the quad, remove the protesters. And the police, instead, law enforcement asked for evidence that the protest presented an imminent danger. And when none was presented, they just put up a barrier between this side of the protest and the pro-Israeli genocidal maniacs who had shown up, and then stood in between them and have just done that and not removed them. And this is exactly what we would like to have happen, and also I'm confused as to how it's happening.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe we live in the world where this is possible. But what Penn has done instead now is the cops aren't going to help. Well, then. And so they've started doing disciplinary action on the school side, suspensions, expulsions, things like that against any students that are in this protest. But yeah, somehow a group of cops decided not to go attack the protesters.
It's especially interesting because, it's the Philly Police Department. Like, they were involved just a few years ago with, like, a bunch of protesters on I-76 getting kettled, then tear gassed.
I have been hit by a baton with a baton by a Philly cop. Like, I've been to multiple protests down there.
Philly cops are definitely not the most protest-friendly cops
And I was
around.
hit by a Philly cop with a baton after a Proud Boy hit me with his flagpole. And nothing happened to that guy because the cop was also coming in to do the same thing. I'm guessing he thanked him afterward for beating him there.
I mean, maybe it's just the Philly police are like, anti-Semitic enough that they're like, well, they're protesting against Israel, so...
That would make some sense. Wow.
Although I don't know if the leadership of the Philly Police Department would be that overt about it.
We all know what happened at UCLA.
Mm-hmm. Well...
I had other posts to show. But this is as the pro-Israeli group attacked all the protesters.
For several hours while the police stood by and watched.
Yeah. And it's funny because the other side, on nearly no matter what topic, if you're in my chat or you're in me or Mac or anyone else involved here, the other side, no matter who that happens to be on any given day, always accuse our side of being paid by George Soros. These are the same people who showed up to set up their event there with a big professional stage and a production crew and a whole work team to get everything built out and put on like a concert and shit. If anyone is getting paid, it's them. Right? I mean, it's that whole thing where whatever they accuse you of is actually an admission of their own guilt.
It would be interesting to know, have they identified any of the people involved? I mean, obviously that's a bit of a tough thing to do there, given they were all, masked up and everything. But
they were all wearing masks.
Identifying them, but it would be very interesting if they could identify any of them. Be interesting because, I bet we could figure out from there, like, some connections. Figure out who organized it, that sort of thing.
And then we've got, of course, Biden's wonderful speech this morning, where he condemns the campus demonstrators. And here's some pictures of the universities in Gaza. Biden is doing everything he can to lose the youth vote.
Seriously. Like, how is it is impressively just out of touch.
They don't see it either because they think the threat of Trump is enough to convince these kids to still vote for him. And while keeping Trump out should be a strong enough thing on any other given day, he is working really hard to make them not even go that route.
I mean, like, you have to think like you expect a politician to understand like voter propensity, and that like every time you do things to alienate the voters that are not certain to vote, there's that marginal propensity for some of them to be less likely to show up in the first place. Like,
I mean, this is the image that just says it all for me.
Yeah.
Whew. He just doesn't get it at all.
Yeah, it boggles the mind. And like, you'd think at least he'd be paying attention to like, polling suggesting that he's taking a stance that's not entirely popular among Americans. Because Americans as a whole certainly seem to suggest, the polling certainly seems to suggest they aren't entirely pro-Israel as he is at this point.
Yeah. And then, let's end up here. Russia is using chemical agents, violating multiple conventions, including, of course, the Chemical Weapons Convention, the CWC.
Yep.
Everyone remembers the Geneva Convention, but there are others.
Yes.
There are, in fact, many others. This is one of them.
Oh, yeah. And to be clear, what they're using is tear gas. But that is just as banned as mustard gas.
Yeah.
And it's very specifically because in combat, they don't, when you're being attacked with gas, you don't know what kind of gas it is until until someone actually gets hit with it. So even using tear gas has the likelihood of causing retaliation that may not be non-lethal gas. There are very good reasons to ban the use of tear gas, like independently of the actual the choking
and everything else.
Yeah, independent of like how dangerous tear gas actually is, or whether it's inhumane or whatever. Which sure, but that's not really necessarily the biggest concern. And when it comes to like laws about warfare, but when it's maybe it's maybe it's a deadly agent,
and you don't know until days later.
Right. So,
and they cluster bombed civilians in Odessa, and I think everyone saw the picture of that woman just standing over her dog that got hit by one of the cluster munitions. I mean, it's just disgusting what's going on. Now,
I thought it was very funny, the official Russian statement about this.
Yep.
Where Russia's like, we're following all the international rules of war. Like, the invasion itself was a violation of international law. What the fuck are you talking about?
Macron in France was asked about the possibility of French troops going to the front lines in Ukraine. And his response was that it's not off the table and that it's dependent on if Russia breaks through the front lines. And that's World War III. Just like, if everyone's wondering.
It certainly seems very likely to turn out. Although, honestly...
because the first few French troops that die, even though they moved to other soil there, Germany will send troops.
Probably. Maybe.
But
the question is, like, honestly, France has a still large, effective, and well-organized military, and their military-industrial complex. They're one of the world's top arms exporters. They could quite possibly take, with France and Ukraine alone, could quite possibly take Russia. And
quite possibly, yeah.
As long as Russia didn't turn it, escalate to nuclear.
There's that joke about the white flags, but if you look at the records of wins losses, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on how you want to count all of Napoleon's wins.
Right.
And then the second round of all of Napoleon's wins.
I mean, there was definitely entire centuries of European history where it was everyone around them was how do we keep France from ruling Europe? Mm-hmm. That was a serious concern for a long time.
And, there are so many groups of people whose name we've lost or only historians or anthropologists really remember. But we all know the term the Gauls. Mm-hmm. And we know it because of how much trouble they gave the Romans.
This is true.
So...
and I mean, honestly, even just that, sure, they haven't been in a high-intensity conflict in a while, and they didn't... obviously, they didn't do great in World War II or the French Indochina Wars, but they have a fairly active military.
Yes, they are already in a proxy war in Africa.
Yes.
Indeed. I don't know. I just... I mean, have you guys seen what's his name? This guy. Edward Habsburg. He's actually from the Habsburg line, and he's also somehow actually still somewhat intelligent.
Yep.
Miracle of miracles. I guess they stopped the inbreeding a while ago, but he is actually, not some just random offshoot who has the name. He is one of the direct descendants left. Mm-hmm. And he is really loud and stupid on Twitter all the time, but in hilariously funny ways.
Right.
He responds to people talking about, especially when they talk about anything to do with genetics or any of that type of stuff. he will just chime in out of nowhere in a thread that is nothing about him or anywhere near him, and you don't know how he got in it. And he'll just point to his family line, like, what you're talking about is bad. See me. And while, of course, fuck all the royals, fuck all the nobles, and all that shit, I do think this is funny.
Yes.
You can still find this hilarious.
Yeah.
We have good old Edward Habsburg. Oh, man. Yeah. I didn't have any other big ones to talk about tonight. I'm honestly surprised I made it an hour, and I'm still feeling okay. The way my throat and my everything is just kind of going right now, but still feeling all right. So I think maybe we move over to whatever Max got for us tonight.
All right.
Which means I've got to
figure out the button.
Figure out the button. Okay, I'm going to say this to chat. My problem is consistency in naming. Because, like, the one that is on right now, the scene name is Me and Mac Full. Because the buttons also are only a certain size, so you really can't fit much text on there. But the one that we're switching to right now is just named Mac Screen. And it's still Me and Mac Full, just with his screen instead of mine. And I keep looking over there, looking for the other Me and Mac Full or something, just because my brain is so used to the first scene. And it's like, I need to fix this, and I keep saying it. One of these days, I will do it. So we are on yours now.
All right. So the first one was something I thought was kind of funny because the Police Benevolent Association for the NYPD is currently suing the police commissioner and Mayor Adams for implementing a zero tolerance policy on illegal use of steroids or other performance enhancing drugs. Because to be clear, they actually it is zero tolerance policy, but of course, if you have like medical documentation, you're allowed to use it. So like it's not you aren't allowed to like use steroids if you have a medical need. It's if you are using steroids without a doctor, which is illegal. Zero tolerance. And so the police are suing Cop Mayor.
So Mac, bring the browser over a little.
Yes.
Without like losing the other side too. There you go. And you've got a little room to make it bigger. There. Right. There we go. Haha.
There we go.
Thanks for that. Thanks, chat.
So, I just thought that was very funny. And
no, I think it's hilarious that they're fighting because you're stopping us from breaking the law.
Yeah. Also, like, admittedly, I am someone who is more permissive when it comes to drug use than the vast majority of the population. I am not really pro drug criminalization in general.
Go Portugal.
Yeah, like... I just don't see that as a useful solution to drug problems, and don't really have any interest in trying to address them that way. And for the most part, like if people want to use a drug and they want to do so in a responsible manner, for the most part, I'm like, meh. I guess that's their business. Like as long as they're not hurting other people, I don't really care. I mean, I don't want them to hurt themselves, and I obviously want them to have options for like treatment available if they have an issue. But if beyond that, their business, I guess. But you know what? One situation where I am perfectly willing to ban drugs, like drugs that are known to increase aggression. Yeah, cops shouldn't be able to use those without like medical supervision. I am definitely on board for that. In fact, that should be a crime, even if like that drug in general is not. Because that's, like, at best, reckless endangerment.
Yeah. 100% agreed.
It's like it's equivalent to drunk driving. I don't have a problem with people drinking, but drinking and driving...
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not good. We had... So, bit of a bit of a rapid change in topic, but big in the news has been
they should be forced to take MDMA. I agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least mushrooms at least once, or DMT, their choice. Doesn't help everyone, but like, maybe it'll do some good.
They just need an ayahuasca trip guide at the actual police academy.
But so there's big news that the Arizona legislature has repealed the 1864 abortion ban. But it turns out it's only half true. Because the way laws work in Arizona, they have to have an emergency clause. Otherwise, they don't go into effect until 90 days after the legislature adjourns. And they didn't include one of those, presumably because that was probably something they had to do to get a couple of Republicans on board, I'm guessing. Because they needed a couple of them. But, yeah, so they repealed it. But, at some point in the future, currently, which tiresome and stupid. Like I get sometimes they have to make these dumb compromises, but come on, people. And, speaking of come on, people, we have the 3%ers and Patriot militias actively organizing on Facebook again. And, Meta claims they're doing something about it, which, yeah, right. Every so often one of them gets banned. But there are, according to Wired's reporting on this, more than 100 of them currently organizing. The 3%ers are actively like on Facebook's dangerous organizations and individuals list. That they are a criminal group, bunch of fascists. Like they're not people that are doing much to try to avoid breaking Facebook's rules or hide what they're doing very well. So if Facebook cared at all, it would be very easy for them to deal with these. Sure, they'd keep, creating new groups, but like you could have a few content moderators to address that. And then you wouldn't be, aiding and abetting criminal activity. Or at least that particularly fascist brand of it. Then in the courts, we had the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is requiring a U.S. District Court judge to dismiss a complaint filed by a group of young people who allege that the federal government's failure to address climate change meaningfully violates their constitutional rights, saying that they have no standing in the case, which seems like an interesting choice because they are citizens alleging that the government's course of action has and continues to violate their rights. Seems like they have standing. Yeah, it seems like they should have standing. And it's interesting that we just recently we also had news out of, I believe it was Switzerland. Where the European Court of Human Rights addressed a fairly similar complaint and ruled that Switzerland's failure to address climate change violated its citizens' human rights. Like, it turns out it's not impossible for courts to deal with this. The U.S. courts just suck. Like, maybe we should have courts that actually adjudicate violations of people's rights. Novel concept, I realize.
Indeed.
At least in America. Speaking of violating people's rights, we did have the National Labor Relations Board have one of its judges rule that Amazon CEO Andy Jassy violated federal labor law by disparaging unionization in public interviews and saying that if it were employers were to vote in a union, they might have less power and things would become much slower and more bureaucratic. Which, just what a lying jackass. Which I guess, makes a lot of sense as the Amazon CEO, because Amazon is absolutely evil. And should now because I'm not a lawyer, I should carefully phrase things to avoid risking legal trouble. So bad things should happen to Amazon is where I'm going to go with that.
Agreed.
Lots of bad things. Speaking of bad things, the the former leader of now defunct Rise Above movement, Robert Rundo, the infamous neo-Nazi thug, who was originally charged back in 2018 because, he and the rest of the neo-Nazis and the Rise Above movement were actively just publicly telling everyone that they were going out and starting riots and starting fights and, live streaming themselves and posting videos of it and the like. And so they got charged with multiple counts of violating federal conspiracy and riot statutes. But they got a certain judge.
Of course.
The judge being U.S. District Judge Cormac J. Carney, who initially, now to be clear, before this, Rundo already had a criminal history as a violent criminal. He had gone to prison for stabbing people. Like, he was a violent felon who was being charged with crimes related to conspiracy and riot. And so what was his response? What did the judge do? Well, he initially dismissed it. What was the original one? The initial dismissal was that they didn't. I think it was that they didn't have they didn't actually demonstrate the indictment didn't actually demonstrate that, if taken at face value, that there was a crime committed. It was First Amendment. It was protected First Amendment activity. And then, so he dismissed it. And then the appeals court went, "What are you talking about? No, that's not protected First Amendment activity." And in the meantime, Rundo had fled the country. And so it took several years for him to get extradited from, what was that one? Slovakia, I believe. I forgot which country, which Central Eastern European country it was. But then he got arrested again eventually. And then the judge tried to dismiss the indictment again. What was this, a month ago or something? Saying that it was selective prosecution because they charged the violent neo-Nazis who were starting riots, but not Antifa. Which, obviously. And, it's not like there have been plenty of people who were anti-fascists, Antifa, one might say, who were arrested by police and charged with crimes. But because they weren't charged in with federal criminal conspiracy to start a riot. I guess it's selective prosecution because they didn't do that. And then the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, again, we're like, whoa, hold on. But he had already, the judge ordered Rundo released, while the prosecutors were like, whoa, shouldn't that be put on hold? Like, while we appeal this? Cause, this guy already tried to flee the country once. And the judge was like, nah. So the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals was like, 1, he needs to be rearrested. 2, any future orders have to automatically be stayed for several days so that we can address them.
Wow.
And now the judge is like trying to do basically the same thing again, and is saying that this guy should be allowed to be released on bail after he already not only fled the country once, but when he was released previously, he tried to flee the country again.
So what does this guy have on the judge? What photos or video does he have on the judge?
This judge has already announced that he's almost old enough to retire.
I know his intent and everything, and he's anti-Antifa and all that. But
no, this judge is just a Nazi. A Nazi, because he is openly siding with neo-Nazis, and there is no reason for it. He is literally on the precipice of retiring. He has openly stated that he has scheduled court dates for people, saying this is the only date that's available on my calendar because I need to attend a mandatory thing that you have to do before you can retire as a judge. And he's he's about to turn old enough to do the retirement. So he obviously intends to retire in the very near future. And this is just his last middle finger to democracy. So this judge is garbage, and
absolute garbage, and should be removed.
Yeah, should be criminally charged with obstruction of justice because this has no basis in law, none whatsoever.
Absolutely,
he is openly flaunting the law and trying to obstruct the administration of justice. That seems like it should be the basis for a criminal charge.
It definitely does. Agreed. We've talked about this judge a couple times, and
we have mentioned him in the past, but he just every opportunity keeps doing more. It is kind of impressive how much of middle finger to justice he apparently is committed to delivering.
Indeed, maybe he needs some MDMA too.
Yeah. Then, well,
you know what? I have it. We just need to seed the clouds with MDMA. Let it rain down. That's the move. This from the person who doesn't do any drugs.
At this point, that does. Yeah. Admittedly, I have never done MDMA. That is not one of the many drugs that I have done. But at this point, I am forced to question how much harm could it really do compared to where we already are.
Right.
We did have Trump getting a trivial fine for violation of gag orders this
Good old
week.
$9,000.
But that is, to be fair, legally the most the judge could give him.
Right, because it's like $1,000 per thing or something.
The New York state law has capped the maximum amount per violation, which is...
They're just going to keep doing it to him every day, though.
Yeah, and I mean, the judge did just openly threaten to jail Trump if he keeps doing this.
Yeah.
So it would be nice if he follows through on that, because I don't see Trump following the gag order, especially if he's only being fined $1,000 a violation. Have it double. If the judge could double it every violation, maybe eventually it would start to matter. But
yeah, they've really got to figure that out. But only for this guy.
Yeah. No,
just his special rules.
He's already getting special rules. Maybe something to even to balance things out.
Better special rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just make it the maximum amount could be a percentage of their net worth. Get on that, New York State legislature. You heard it Yeah, I know you're watching. And speaking of Trump and watching, I don't usually watch Trump speeches or anything, but I saw this thing today, and man, for once, I think I might have to watch this one because he is scheduled to speak at the Libertarian National Convention later this month, and that genuinely sounds like it is likely to be hilarious.
Indeed.
I don't think he can. I don't think he has the personal discipline to conceivably not alienate the libertarians, no matter how much like there might be the fascist wing of the Libertarian Party who would be very inclined to support him. He does not have that kind of discipline. He seems very likely to say something or another else that will alienate not all of them by any means, but
oh yeah,
enough. And watching him try to tailor a message for the libertarians also sounds likely to be very funny. So the combination of him trying and then failing, yeah, that sounds like it's likely to be comedy or gold right there.
Absolutely.
Although I hate to be giving him that level of attention. I'm mostly only interested in watching the outcomes of his court trials at this point. That's really the main thing I have interest in there. Honestly, I think that's about covers the important stories. We have, the UN rights chief being troubled by how pro-Palestinian protesters are being treated. Meanwhile, we have Democratic politicians saying shut it down and saying that the protesters are bad. And, well, maybe I'm misremembering, but as I recall, what Biden technically said was that the violence at these protests was bad. I don't remember. Am I misremembering? Did he actually specifically say the protesters? Obviously, I believe that's what he intended. But from what I recall him saying, strictly, I don't know if he did.
I mean, he
alluded to it.
Yeah, he alluded to it very strongly.
And I certainly believe that he intended it to mean the protest. Yeah. But I don't know if he actually said it. Yeah. And it would be very funny if what he said could be parsed as, blaming the people assaulting protesters. Even if that's not what he meant, which it certainly wasn't.
Indeed. So I'm going to bring it back over to my screen because I have a couple more things to do, and then maybe we go through the dailies.
Yeah.
Not that one. Why did I do that one? That one. First up, this. The state of Utah has released a snitch form to help enforce new restrictions on transgender people using public restrooms. And of course, UR9 News has shared this, and it would just be a real shame if people went and filled out this form and just made it utterly useless, this form. Yeah. I do believe this form needs some filling out.
There's a lot of suspicious people in Utah. Really, I'm sure, honestly, just Utah as a whole is pretty suspicious. So,
indeed.
Everyone there should probably be reported, just to be safe.
So I went to look at a couple other things, and I just ran across this randomly. Someone posted on Reddit in the OpenAI subreddit, AGI will not happen. I read the Bible, and there is nothing in there about AGI. This won't happen. Obviously, the post itself has been removed, but with the way Reddit works, that just means you can still read all the comments, and it just says, this post has been removed.
Yes.
And so I went to go look at it. And funny enough, someone in here does quote the Bible in a way in which they think it might be talking about AGI. And from Matthew 24, for as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. I mean, this is just another one of those stretches that's like the whole thing for me. It really sums up the entire thing for me. No, that's not talking about AGI.
No.
But yeah. Yeah, AGI is not going to happen because the Bible says so. So, like, we're good here. I guess.
I mean, not even. AGI won't happen because the Bible doesn't say it will.
So I went here, right? And I want you guys to see what happened after I pulled up this post, because this is what happened. Over in my notifications now, it's recommending that I go to the subreddit Bible. So, yeah. Good times. Good times. I think it's time to play the dailies. I do not know if someone wants to join us, but she might. We should go through some of these and see what we find.
Just beat me yesterday, so.
Let's play some games. Obviously, we know what this one is.
Never gonna be it.
I mean, one of these days. It got us 3 of them, and that got us the other 2.
Okay.
Slice?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? I mean, it works. It works.
Sometimes.
All the time. I win every one of them. Look at that, 91%. That's the same as 100%.
Tiles there is horrible if you have any amount of color blindness. Oh, what is that guy?
A pair?
Island?
No.
Wait, what?
That's not an island.
I don't think so. The northern
Georgia.
That's not Georgia.
I know, but it'll tell us where. We're way over there. Okay.
Is it Liechtenstein or something nonsense like that? No, that's not even far enough.
A little too far. So it's not.
Malta? Or no?
No, wait, not Malta. No,
not
right?
Malta. Gibraltar is the one I was thinking. Although no, the northern border I don't think is right. Now that I look.
Yeah, now it's way over there. This is.
It's an island.
Yeah.
Where does Bermuda put us? Okay, it's below Bermuda.
Trinidad.
Sounds right.
Oh, above that.
It's way closer though.
Oh yeah, no, you're getting close.
You only have one guess left, isn't there?
Aruba?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I like that font.
Montserrat.
I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, I would not have guessed.
No.
It's also an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go. Well, we failed at Wordle. How about Tradle?
We can build that. What?
What? How
An
do you?
island.
Are you sure?
1.
So
I think
that's
it might be something
1.5
landlocked.
billion.
1.5 billion, huh?
Prestige is real high.
That is.
We don't even need this zoomed in at this point.
Okay, so
Let's place ourselves on the map. What islands could this
Fiji or something?
be?
Haiti, really?
No, Fiji.
Fiji.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, because it doesn't list water.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Guam.
Really? No.
Processed crustaceans. What's a place that does a lot of crab?
Almost everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a big thing all over the place.
Hmm.
1.5 billion worth though. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
nothing for an.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Let's just place ourselves
It's not
somewhere.
like frozen fish, and then it's crustaceans and processed crustaceans. I think that puts you up in the Arctic for like snow.
I'm just gonna do Aruba, just to put ourselves on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's way up in the Arctic. Like I said.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't know.
Aruba's over here. I mean, like Greenland?
It's not. It's not Iceland.
Yeah, it's Greenland. Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
How do you go straight up from Aruba and get anywhere that isn't like Canada? And it just
Yeah.
Greenland. Yeah, there you go.
I just would not have guessed that to be Greenland's balance of exports. I
No,
would have thought
no,
there would have been
that was
something
definitely a
else
weird one.
up in the top areas.
I'm just wondering how you go that high from Aruba, and that Greenland's
Yeah.
the only thing in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
area. All
I'm
right.
trying to think if there's something between, Russia and Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
There's not.
All right. What movie is this?
Okay, that's. Oh.
Dungeons and
it's the
Dragons,
Dungeons and
right?
Dragons one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. I got it first. Oh. Yeah, no. Huh. I liked this movie, by the way. Just I don't know if you haven't seen it yet, but that was a fun movie.
Excellent casting. Just A+ all around. The best. Wow. Okay.
Ooh,
It's almost.
we're close.
Yeah, but there's a lot of countries within 635 miles of France.
At least one. Could be Georgia.
How do you
Doesn't
spell
Georgia
this?
border Turkey?
Mm-hmm.
165 miles. Huh?
Russia's adjacent to a lot of things.
I know.
That doesn't really help us much. Hungary?
No. You, Hungary doesn't touch Russia, does
I
it?
don't think it does. No.
I think a little tiny section.
No, it's way over there.
Oh no, yeah.
I just like,
But
Well, I'm thinking
that
of,
touches Hungary
I'm
and
thinking of,
Russia, which means you.
yeah, Ukraine, right?
Yeah. It has to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, it's the only thing that touches.
There you go.
Got there. That's pretty quick. 8th guess. Don't hate it. Oh boy, Moviedle.
Oh no. Okay.
All right, everyone.
Stare right at the screen.
Stare right at it. 1 second.
All right. Period drama. There was a set in a hotel. There were some people with drinks. It wasn't the Great Gatsby.
Okay, well, I thought Great Gatsby was a good try there.
No, it wasn't.
Did you though?
I have no idea what that is.
I did not get enough to get
Right?
really any clues out of that.
We might make it to the last one on this one. There's a courtroom, there's jail. Does that help anybody? Period piece, courtroom, jail? No. Is that Johnny Dangerously? No.
Oh, I saw London's West End as a title card at the beginning.
It's definitely not London Has Fallen.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like title card, but like a location announcement thing.
Yeah.
So
Godfather?
no.
I saw a Nazi. I don't think so.
The lighting wasn't right.
Yeah, the lighting wasn't right, but like, see how they run. Okay,
Not familiar.
No, not familiar.
not one I know. Let's go to Flick Talk. All right, another movie. What is this movie?
It's a movie you don't like.
I know this. Why do I know this?
That does look vaguely familiar. I definitely cannot place it.
I know like this. It isn't like, stop it. It isn't that. I just want the next thing. Why do I know this? Oh,
Oh,
Thank you for smoking.
thank you for not smoking, I
Oh,
think.
thank you for
no,
smoking.
yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. That one. Yeah. There we go. Horrible movie.
I bet that is when he's online.
Indeed. TV show. Eyeballs.
That's
On IGN?
Maybe it's just an IGN screenshot of an episode.
I mean that's a shitty enough cemetery. It could be Buffy, but that's not really.
Let's do that anyways. Let's just do. Why has season 8 got its own thing?
There was a motion
We've seen
comic.
this one before with that dude. And we don't know this show.
True Blood?
No, we don't know this
I
thing.
don't know True Blood.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
It's clearly a vampire thing.
Right,
Yeah.
we've seen some of these. Hemlock Grove. Is
I've never heard of
what
that.
the hell is that?
I don't know, and I have no intention of watching it, so we're just gonna keep getting this wrong.
Travel. Laos to East Timor. Okay.
Ooh.
I know one country you gotta do.
Is it Thailand?
It's Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is Indonesia. But, like,
It can be both. It can be two things.
indeed. And Malaysia. And ta-da! Perfect. That was literally perfect. Look at that. 100%. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, given it a couple years ago, I would not have been that quick to get that one right. This game and the others are really helping. Maybe? There we go. Mini crossword. Let's do that one. Fruit with a large flat pit.
Mango.
Fuck.
Marsh.
Look at you.
I know words. I'm good at it. Aloud.
Allowed, yeah.
Oddly.
What's this?
Around 9 across. Like,
Holy.
Holy. God damn it. I hate that so much.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Guile. Sniff.
Smell.
smell.
Alamo.
And noble.
Stop it. There we go. Nobel. And rabid.
Now you can do that twice as fast.
Indeed. All right. Connexo. Stop offering to translate this one.
Translate this one.
Okay.
All right. There's gadget. So that means one of these has to be inspectors. I just need the rest of them to fall into line.
Yes.
Can we do that?
No.
Yolk, albumin, membrane, shell. Types of parts of an egg.
Yeah.
Yolk.
Membrane. Albumin.
Where are they? Oh, there it is. Okay. I literally could not find this one.
And then shell. No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. See? Alistair knows.
All right. I can be wrong once. Device, equipment,
Gadget tool.
gadget, tool. Yep.
There we go. This one was easy this time.
What is this?
How do you not know what this one is? Come on, buddy.
Look, I killed it on the parts of an egg.
You did. You did. Okay. Let's play Guess the Game,
God,
buddy.
It's always bad. It's never good.
It totally is Command and Conquer.
It absolutely is not.
I know.
Look, it's too old for the Metacritic.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, this I have no idea what this is.
Original platform is DOS, okay? Like, this dumb game, not the game that they're describing.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
this
that
is-
is
yeah,
the
you're
Dune
right.
RTS, the one that was on Sega.
No,
Dune,
this is
Dune
this
Battle
is.
or Dune 2000. Yeah, right. Wasn't that the one?
You know what? We're just. Oh, there it is. Way up at the top. We're in the right franchise.
Maybe I'm misremembering which. It was like Dune
There it
Battle
is.
for Arrakis
Dune
or
2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Haha. Well done, Alistair and Mac.
Yeah, Battle for Arrakis on Genesis. That's the
Yep.
one I remembered it for with the platform I played it on. So
All right.
yeah.
Oh, I think I know this. I think I've seen this before.
Norway. No. Wrong. Very wrong.
About as wrong as it can be.
Okay.
Can I type in the Falkland Islands?
That seems like
Yeah,
Right?
that's
That
a lot
better be closer. Yeah, right? Like where how else do you
got it into.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering how on earth it could be anything else with
Right.
that arrow and
Yeah,
that like if it's not the Falkland Islands, then we're talking about like, you know, territory that isn't technically owned by any real country. Although
Could be
now we
part
are
of-
kind of talking about that anyways, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, it could be some other part of Argentina or Chile on the coast.
True. Just
But
you know,
yeah, that was
depending on where you live right now, you think someone else owns that. I don't want to do strands right now. I want to do time guesser. All right, what's the daily time guesser? Pigs doing something.
Okay. They have tasers.
It looks like UK police because of the blue and
Yep.
white checker. Oh, yep, Land's
New
End.
York is that way. John O'Groats is that way.
Yep, Land's End. That is, and it's 2012 apparently, or the sign was. So it helps narrow things down.
Yep.
Can you get the phone?
Oh yeah,
That definitely looks 2012 to me.
Yeah.
yeah,
actually,
that does look plausible.
2012 is sort of the last gaps of the time.
Isles of Scilly. Silly. So is Land's End like up here at the top or something?
It's way out on the western part of England.
Isle of Skye.
England, not Scotland.
Oh, whoa, where did it go?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Southwest. Although, like,
Yeah, down there.
yeah.
There it is.
Should be able to get very close on
Are
this
they
one.
here or are they here?
I think they're a little farther.
I think they're on the mainland.
Yeah, I think they're on the main island, but farther south than where we're zoomed in at the moment. I think down near the roads. Yeah.
First and last inn, that's not it.
Just going to go right here.
No, scoot out. Just be
2012.
wrong. Okay, fine.
What do you mean? Where do you think it is?
A few hundred feet to the south.
Farther south than the thing that literally says it's Land's End right there?
Yeah, I think
See
the
where it says Land's End Landmark?
Yeah.
And
I
then
think-
Land's End Signpost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way
That's-
away from the water, which they're right next to.
I think it looks out over the edge there, like the
Okay, so it's right here.
yeah, roughly should be somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted it. You wanted it
31
back
years.
No.
here. So I was right the first time. It was
The
closer to that.
signpost.
Yeah.
Like I said.
So we got our first
wow,
10,000 ever.
damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's my first 10,000 on this one.
Well, to be fair, it literally told you in the picture exactly where and when it was.
It did. Good for us for being able to
Recognize.
the language of, that particular location. Looks like it says
Philippines, maybe?
Yeah, it does feel Philippines. I'm just trying to like find a year thing besides the cars, because cars are always so hard there.
Yeah.
Some of these cars could be in the 80s.
They definitely could be 80s if they were
Like
new, but
that right there.
I would guess that it's actually later than we would necessarily think from
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
This feels like black and white is a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably like 79-ish, maybe.
I'd put it later.
Yeah, I'd put it later.
You would?
Absolutely.
If it's in the
Anywhere where
Philippines?
It's harder to get, cars to.
Yeah, we're going to see those cars later.
They're going to show up later. So if you're seeing a 1982 car, it better be at least 1986.
Yeah. I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere around Manila. It seems like a good guess. I don't know. I don't really have any good clues on where there it might be, but
Maori.
yeah, in 89. Oh.
Okay, well, that 10,000 was needed.
Yeah.
Also, remember when I told you to go later?
Huh.
They look like they're protesting nukes.
Yes.
That appears to be the thing.
That does look like the thing.
Definitely looks like an 80s haircut there.
It does.
What university are we at?
Can we see what at the top of their bomb hats? It is like a logo thing.
29.
New
Weapons in Europe.
New.
And
not German, but it's close enough that I can read it.
yeah, it's definitely a Germanic language of some sort.
Den Haag.
Dutch, probably. Yeah,
It
Den
feels
Haag.
Dutch.
That's Dutch,
Yeah.
definitely. That's
So maybe we're looking at like Amsterdam.
quite possible. I'm not sure which
I've
city
never
that would
seen
be.
anything that looks like this in the few pictures I've seen of Amsterdam.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a familiar thing, but I don't know which Dutch city it would be. So
Yeah, like 83 sounds about right.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember any sort of specific conflict over restationing weapons in Europe.
Oh, in the Hague.
Yep.
That
So
does make a lot of
54.
sense.
That's still another
That's-
great
yeah,
score. 9,600.
Yeah.
There's a little schmutz on this photo.
There is.
Uh-huh.
Are those French military
That
uniforms?
is actually German.
Yeah, Hinterland. Schoenberg and Denson.
I think I see. That looks like most of them. I think are. It looks like they might be French uniforms, but I see a couple. I think that's a British hat.
This feels extremely like 1910.
Yeah, this is Great War era.
Huh.
What is happening here?
Yeah, that guy that we see in the middle there looks like he's British.
In Krakow?
That does.
Oh, maybe they're
that way, yeah.
Polish. Maybe. I don't know the Polish uniforms from the air very well. Maybe Polish, Lithuanian Commonwealth, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't recognize I don't know their uniforms. So.
Does feel like yeah, this could be Poland.
Yeah, that does seem plausible.
So I think we go Krakow.
And that makes sense to me.
And then
I mean, those uniforms, like.
it does feel like World War One.
Yeah, that is definitely that era of uniform.
Early World War One.
Yeah, that might honestly be like 1914-ish.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. 18.
I don't have any good clues that I'm seeing that could give us a good tip off.
I mean, I'd go all the way back to 14, but.
No, I was really thinking 18.
Yeah. 34 is way too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 18.
And we were 3 kilometers away, chat.
Oh, so
Man,
far.
3 of these we've gotten over 9,500 on. And the last one we just utterly
You can tell
bombed.
with this one. Who is she?
Is that Amanda Knox? Is that who that is, chat?
Maybe.
Remind me again who Amanda Knox is?
It's the person from America who was in Italy and did the
Oh.
possible maybe murder, maybe not, and
I don't think it was did the possible maybe murder. It's, the roommate got murdered and maybe it was her. Do the maybe murder. I mean, she did something and maybe it was murder and maybe it was just a whoopsie.
dude, I don't remember the whole thing. I just remember, yeah, she was cute, and so that's her.
Okay.
Where are we? I mean,
You're obviously in Italy.
yes.
I think it was in Rome, if I remember.
Where
But
time-wise was this? This wasn't that long ago.
no, it was a few years ago, but it wasn't.
Like-
2018 though.
No.
That's
Was it 17 or 16?
maybe 16? Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I thought it was.
Because we've got her phone and his. We can try.
That's
That
true.
is a wallet with a small hole for the camera. And how about him? Yeah, same deal. I'd go earlier.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this is earlier. Like, look at the lights on these two cars.
Okay, they do have
Like,
the
we
A-
started getting these types of lights
they
a
do
little
have the
later
A
than
grade
that.
lights, you're right.
Yeah.
But those phones just.
It could be around that range. Yeah, like, I think it's like closer to 10. So let's say 2009, maybe.
2009 for that, yeah. Oh, we all suck.
So that's the prime minister. But yeah,
Oh, wow, we bombed that one.
sure as hell looked like Amanda Knox to me, because she was cute. So like, and in Europe,
I had no idea you had an Amanda Knox king.
I have no idea what she looks like. She like came up in some TV show that was on the other day, and I just wasn't even watching, so like I didn't even see her face. I just heard her name like repeated a few times. How about strands?
Those strands. We'll screw it up once.
What is my line? What's my line?
There's an now and up top towards the left. You start at the top.
Yeah.
You can also get fish up there.
What are we getting?
Oh, zebra.
Okay, now I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's got to be skunk.
Right? Yeah.
That's a sea chipmunk, I think.
Oh, yes.
Starting at the bottom left.
Okay, yep. There you go.
There we go.
A tiger there, too.
Yep, tiger's
Oh,
right
yeah.
here. Clownfish.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Bumblebee.
Striped, if you start down
Let's
the bottom
see. So if we
S.
do BUMB, yeah, there we go.
No, you missed an E.
God damn
There's, yeah.
L-E.
There we go. I know, it's just, getting the mouse to do it right is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
easy.
And then striped is your...
We did that one pretty quick.
Yeah. We just had to figure out what the heck
Kaboom.
we're talking about. Wasn't that hard?
Yeah, you always got to get that first one so you actually know what they're trying to do. And there is connections.
Okay. I can't lose today. I lost yesterday.
Hello to you.
Hi.
All right, so let's
All
look
right.
at this.
Ace, Jack.
Tire jack, maybe? Wrench?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Chalk.
Where is it? Yeah.
Bottom right.
Oh, yeah.
Used to fix a flat.
Shot, ace,
Ace,
Cracker Jack and Pop.
expert, hot shot, Joker.
Joke? What? No.
Ace?
No.
Like that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Ace,
Okay.
hot
I
shot.
wasn't
expert.
sure on Joker.
Cracker
but-
Jack, actually, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see? Look at us, chat. Same times.
This is going to be one of those dumb ones where it's like one letter changed or something,
I don't think so.
or a letter missing or something. It's going to be something weird like that, I think.
Her, Gladiator, Joker, Signs.
Those are movies.
Oh, yeah.
One word titles.
Yeah.
Joaquin
Oh,
Phoenix
Joaquin
movies.
Phoenix also, yeah.
There you go. Okay, The Popcorn Rapture.
That
Yes.
was the Popcorn Raptures.
Words starting with music genres. Pop, rap, rock, soul.
See, I knew it was going to be one of those stupid ones.
Woo!
Yeah.
We got there. We got there.
We did good. We did good.
And Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor. I still wish we got more River Phoenix movies, though.
He's been through enough. You don't have to bring up his dead brother every time you talk about him.
I think you do.
I really don't think you do.
I think it's absolutely necessary. Chat, that has been 2 hours with my slightly sore throat. I think that's all I've got. I honestly didn't think I'd make one, so this is a miracle. I am going out of town next week. I might do one before I leave, but I'll be gone for a week out in Nebraska, playing around with tractors. It'll be fun. But that is show tonight. Good night to everyone in chat, and I am gonna hit the ending button. I really wish I could remember where these were without looking over there.